ESPN Radio.
And then I'm never your boy's so hot. You never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. Drop their whole clan. Lay ass down with that 3 second tan.
Word life. But
we got
to tell the streets
back
for the very last time in 2025.
Isn't that crazy?
I threw out all the calendars in my office, man, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
it seems like I just threw out 2024 like yesterday.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, the whole year. It was like a terrible year, and it also flew by at the same time.
Yeah. Wow.
So we probably should have talked about this before we got on the air, but like I think that we got, talking about this back half of Cena's career. How much time you guys want to devote to like this whole last year?
Oh man.
Like I just think that like if we glance over, because from like where we ended last year, we got to talk about the Nexus. We got to talk about Money in the Bank.
True.
But after that, he's like pretty much part-time from the Rock WrestleMania match up until the finish, right? He comes back, he goes, he comes, he goes. Let's start back with like where we were at before. And I think the big thing is like 2008 was like that was the real demarcation point, because remember he broke his neck.
Yeah.
And he was out. But he was only out for like 4 months.
Hold on. I know the injury you was talking about was when he tore the pec against his skin.
Came back at the Rumble.
I thought it was his neck at the Rumble.
No, that was his pec.
Oh, okay.
Rhymes with neck, though.
Yeah, that was
pec or neck.
Pec or neck.
Yeah, well, I'm wrong. Don't rely on me for history, folks.
The next night, it was on ECW, and I was at the ECW. Mr. McMahon came out and said to John Cena he was going for surgery and had to release the belt.
That was 08,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking almost 20 years ago. That's wild.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
Be 18 years here soon on that.
Time which was no man.
Time fell off.
My God.
Smash Mouth was right. The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Back to the rules and hit the ground.
There you go. So you're right. It's Peck. He returns to Royal Rumble real fast.
Yeah.
But didn't it feel like when he made that return, like other talents were starting to emerge at that point? Like, if you think back to that time, about around this time, that's when we had Sheamus kind of start, right? Mm-hmm. That's when Sheamus started, kind of emerging. This is when Christian kind of stepped up and was starting to be like regularly in the main event picture. It's hard for me to remember, but I think back to that time and you look at like those cards on the shows, Christian was like in the main event or close to it more than he wasn't.
He was,
especially when Edge got hurt.
Right. They just kind of slid him in that spot. And he had that world heavyweight title feud with Orton. He had the ECW belt like forever and a day. Didn't he win the world
with Del Rio?
Feuded with Del Rio in Edge's spot. There was a lot of guys, and Del Rio's another guy. Alberto Del Rio is another guy coming up.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of like, obviously they were missing John Cena, but other guys were kind of starting to step up. And what did you guys think about that time without Cena? Because he had that really great feud when he came back with Batista. He just kind of picked up. And going back and research for the show, that was like a really long feud. That was like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that culminated at WrestleMania. There was WrestleMania, and then they had one last blow off, and that was the Over the Edge, right, where he was going to give him the I Quit match.
Yeah,
he was going to give him the attitude adjustment off the top of the car, and Batista said he quit before he did it.
The next time he quit.
That's true. The next day he did quit. So what do you guys think? Like this, because at this time when he comes back, he's in the main event picture, but the focus seems to be on other people.
I didn't mind the roster during that time.
I didn't either.
Talk about it.
I mean, you had Shawn still there, was there, Punk,
Undertaker,
Orton, Batista,
Sheamus is coming up.
Kennedy
Kennedy
was hot at the time.
Yeah.
Johnny Nitro, Miz. Got to count them.
Yeah. Do you think, Big Show? Do you think they could have survived without Cena at this point? Like, let's say Cena was like out forever, or were they really missing like the guy? Because it's kind of the same thing that they're in right now. It's like with Roman, like we're missing Roman, and we're missing like Seth, we're missing like our big guns, but we got like 15 upper medium sized guns. Do you know what I'm saying?
It seems like right now, as far as like long time ago, everybody was like ready to jump the gun and be the number one guy.
Yeah.
Easily you could have had, Umaga, Alberto Del Rio. You could have had Sheamus as world champion.
Yeah.
Like all three could have been like world champions.
We're forgetting about this too, but Rey Mysterio's in the mix too. He was already won the belt. He was already a world champion. So anytime you win the belt in WWE, the big one, the threat is always there for you to win it back again. You're already considered a champion caliber. So, and then like Dolph Ziggler, like that was a guy who a lot of people were
still there, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, this was a good. This is my favorite part. He's in the suit tie. He's feuding with Shawn. Serious Jericho, where it wasn't like. And maybe that's weird. I was just like avant-garde. He wasn't like the rock and roller. He wasn't the Ayatollah. He wasn't Y2J. He's punching Shawn's wife in the face.
Yeah.
All you sycophants.
Yeah. But
the Hardys were there.
The Hardys were there. Jeff was mixing up with Triple H around this time. MVP. Yeah, he was kind of on that.
He was U.S. champ.
He was U.S. champ.
Finley and Regal were there.
Yeah.
Goldust was there.
Yeah.
The roster was deep.
Yes.
Just like you said, it did not have that alpha.
Yes.
On the baby side, like for a little bit, you had some people that were like, the ceiling was right here, but they couldn't break through that.
Yeah.
Like you said, MVP, Goldust, some people like that. There were baby faces at the time, but it seemed like they couldn't break through that ceiling.
We're forgetting Bobby Lashley too. Yeah, because he's kind of like floating around. But, I'm glad he's in the business. I do like him. I do think he's good. But it also, a lot of times, seeing Bobby Lashley, he was kind of like Brock Lesnar. Like, he comes from a military background, he comes from a shoot wrestling background, a shoot fighting background. And while those guys, like, physically understand pro wrestling, I think a lot of those guys struggle to mentally understand pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
To shoot, brother.
Right. Like, they're used to, like, oh, I got to be hyper competitive. Like, no, man, this is musical theater, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not,
let's go make some money and then we'll talk about it at the bar later.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not like dudes that are ready to kill each other or whatever.
It's
So,
because he ain't like people.
Right?
did you know when Brock Lesnar had a private plane and would fly into the towns?
That don't surprise me one
And
bit.
leave right afterwards.
That don't surprise me one bit because, like I said, he's not a people person. So I would do the same. Man, if I didn't like people, I'm like, yeah, I'll do the same thing.
The guy's a freak, but he grows up on a farm in North Dakota,
Yeah.
right? Like he's on a 100-acre farm.
Away from everybody.
Right. He's like living on a deserted island just about unless he's in school.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you got 20,000 people and fireworks and all that. I get it. I understand why you'd be like, what the heck's going on here, right? But it was an interesting time when you said it was deep, and
Booker T was there.
Booker T was on there,
Yeah.
and King Booker.
Right.
That was like the backbone of SmackDown for a couple of years now. It was wonderful. Big King Booker was fantastic.
Kev's favorite was on the roster too, Orlando Jordan.
Yeah, you big OJ fan?
Yeah.
You know what? He wasn't bad.
He wasn't
bad.
He just needed some more seasoning.
He'd probably be the top guy now. That's what's sad
Yeah.
because he looked like $1 million and
Let's debate that for a second, because even though we're talking about Cena, I was thinking about the same thing, about the Attitude Era. If D'Lo was wrestling now, World Heavyweight
he'd be the
Champion.
top guy.
If
Yeah.
Chavo was wrestling now, he'd be World Champion. Like all those guys that you think back, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Val Venus.
Yep. Top of the card.
Orlando Jordan had a match with Benoit, and that put him on the map.
Yeah.
And like I met Orlando Jordan
Yeah.
one time before at a TNA event.
At Hobart.
Yeah.
Was it at Hobart?
No, it was at It was at another center.
Okay.
And he came out and started like signing autographs for everybody. He kind of gave me that look like, hey, I'm like, whoa.
He's in character.
Ladies,
Yeah.
Orlando Jordan romantically likes men and women both, and that's one of those characters where. Remember they did that in TNA and gave him the really hot male valet and the really hot female valet? That was a Russo special right there. But if they would have done it seriously, whoa, listen
to what we're gonna do.
Listen to what we're going to do. You're going to have a hot guy and a hot girl, and they're going to manage you.
It's going to be money, bro.
It's money, bro. If they would have done it more serious, I probably would have. We're talking about we're talking about boiling blood before the show. Like, just makes you bad because it's like you see something in wrestling and you see all the potential in it and how good it could be, and then they turn it into a fart joke
all the time.
That's what would happen to your Magic faction.
Yeah, exactly. A magical faction.
Do you want to tell the people about your?
We'll tell them. We got to get into this here because I have a feeling like I want to move through what I wrote. Because I have a feeling once we get into talking about this last year, that's going to be our last 3 segments, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I want to give people a little bit of a history lesson. And I know we got a couple more minutes before break, but I think if we jump ahead during this time, like he's just kind of, when he comes back, he's champion, but he's just kind of floating around. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed like Cena, like around 2008, 2009, 2010, those matches, like a WrestleMania, Undertaker and Shawn stole the show, hands down, far and away. Like there was nothing better than those. You had Flair's retirement match, then Shawn and Undertaker, then Shawn and Undertaker. So there was not really any sort of room on WrestleMania for like a John Cena featured match, right?
I will tell you what rejuvenated Cena at that point.
Okay.
We have time before break.
Yeah.
Okay. What rejuvenated him is they started signing all the indie darlings around that time.
Yes.
The wave started with Punk, then it worked into your Daniel Bryans and those type of guys. So once the crowd started turning on Cena as being a good wrestler, they had to figure out a way to earn the respect back of the crowd. Mm-hmm. So they started putting him in angles with the wrestlers of the show. He feuded with Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
He feuded with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He feuded with Daniel Bryan. Am I missing? I know later AJ, but I'm talking about this.
No, during that time period, you're right, because that
what you're talking about 2009 to 14 range here, that 5-year window.
Well, that's a big window, but you're right about 2009 because you bumped right up into the Nexus.
Yes.
At the beginning of 2010 or 2011 rather.
Right.
So, and that was just like the Nexus was unlike anything they ever did before. And I don't feel like they've done anything since. And how much time we got left? I want to make sure we're talking about
3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right. So like the Nexus was every single wrestler who was competing for a contract on NXT banded together and destroyed the Raw set and smashed everybody.
That was crazy.
And it was unlike anything they'd ever done, and it was shocking and it was stunning. And they attacked good guys, they attacked bad guys, they attacked the announcer. Right.
The ring announcer, the announcer, all that.
Michael Cole got,
Justin Roberts.
Everybody was attacked. And
Dave Bryan get fired.
he was fired the next day for that, but then hired again, 2 months later? They brought him back. But like, because Daniel Bryan put him in a crossface and choked out. Was it Cole or Roberts? Justin Roberts choked him out with a necktie. Too violent, but it was such an impactful debut and in my opinion, it was so hot. You could have taken any one of those guys and put them right in the main event, like right away.
Oh, yeah.
And they ended up doing that because obviously Heath Slater, very good, not the most intimidating guy, but he's good. It was just different looking guys. David Otunga, Mike Tarver, Justin Gabriel. He looked like an emo cruiserweight.
He did.
He had the emo haircut. He looked very different. Black John Cena. Fred Ross,
Darren Young.
Darren Young. We're saying Black John Cena because if you see this guy back then, you Google it, he literally looks exactly like John Cena, except for he's African American.
Yeah.
We're going to continue about the Nexus and talk about the importance of this because they threw him right into the mix with John Cena, and it was awesome. We're going to go pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Fast horses and fast
He did a
balls. We are
cosplay of
racing
Japan
at Miami Valley
Japan
Gaming
show.
Raceway.
He dressed
Checking
up
the
as John
excitement.
Cena.
Camara and Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
We are subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's Big Camara. And he is so good, huh? And we are sponsored by the School Book Fair.
Man,
if you had $20 on Book Fair Day, man,
$20 would get you a lot.
oh my God.
Lamborghini poster?
You feel me?
The Lamborghini
I
poster?
did the Lamborghini poster.
The Lamborghini poster was solid.
You see the Lamborghini poster? You remember when the Dream Team was popular?
Yes.
I had a Dream Team book.
I like the little photographies.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good.
I was all about those. I'm like, I gotta get them. Every time they had it, I'm like, yeah, I gotta really get that.
Yep.
I maybe nobody cares, but like I post a lot of animal stuff on my Facebook page because I love animals, and you know I love otters, you know, because they're so intelligent, you know. But from the book fair, when I was in second grade, we had to go get a book from Book Fair. There were animal series. And I got the Otters. And, that was my very first book report. We had to get a book about animals.
Do you like Otter Pops?
Otter Pops?
You ever had Otter Pops? Yeah, the little pop. They're like,
yeah. Flavor.
Otter Pops.
Yeah, those are good. I've had
They're
those.
old school.
But they're always so fascinating. I mean, yeah, they're like little teddy bears or whatever. But I like watching them build. They build like these contraptions and levers and walls.
They're sort of like Ewoks.
Yeah, super smart. They're super smart. Anyways, enough about
Star Wars.
And we drop a Star Wars reference every week.
Yes.
But going back to Cena and kind of the Nexus and everything kind of going on there, it was such a powerful story because like nobody had ever seen that before, and the crowd reaction to that was so intense that right away, they grasped the concept and they ran him right at John Cena.
Sure did.
Usually when that kind of stuff happens, they're like, "Oh, we're going to build up the ranks," let's segue a little bit. When Bill Goldberg made his debut, right? He's going to run through Stevie Richards. He's going to run through Christian. He's going to run. At the time, was like a lower card guy. Jerry Flynn. Just like running through these lower card guys. When he was so over when he first started, the very first thing he did was Spear the Rock in that promo. And the crowd's like hanging from the rafters for that. And then next week, it's like, you're going to wrestle Stevie Richards in the opener. But with Nexus, they were just running them straight, straight at big guns.
The Nexus was so strong with it, too, because they had a merchandising team on their side, too, because they had the armbands and the big end on the shirt.
That was when it was getting cool for heels to wear merch.
Yeah. And John Cena comes out and the Nexus comes out with the new shirts. John Cena like, well. If it is the clan otherwise known as
which is kind of corny because that kind of bears them.
It does. The leader of the Nexus was probably one of the best. Would you say that Wade Barrett was one of the biggest missed opportunities?
Yes.
He got hurt a lot.
He did get hurt a lot.
He was injury prone.
But I think he was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I would say so. He had a world champion written all over him.
Right. He could talk. He looked like $1 million.
He was in position to win the world title. They just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
He won the IC, and it was right there, and then they just never.
Well, it was like a battle royal on Raw.
Right.
He hurt his arm.
Yeah.
And I think they were going to put that title on him in a few weeks.
Yes.
But he hurt his arm.
Yep.
He had that match where they forced Cena to be the special ref, and he was the heel, and Orton was the heel. And remember, if Wade Barrett won, Cena would get fired, or if Orton won, Cena got fired.
Yeah, Orton won, Cena got fired.
And then the crowd was really wanting Wade Barrett to win. If I remember that. Right.
Was that an anonymous Raw GM decision?
I believe so.
So,
That never paid off, did it?
It ended up being Hornswoggle. Big payoff.
See, they get something good, they get it nice and hot, and then it's a party.
You know that the whole deal, they never knew what the plan was going to be. They just started doing it, and they were like, hey, this is actually getting a reaction. Let's do it again next week.
Yeah. Every time you got the AOL text notification and the lights would flash, boom. I mean, it was really hot there for a minute.
I would have had it be Vince Russo.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense.
You would have brought back Mr. Stain?
Just for Mr. Stain would have came in just for that.
Just
reveal.
for that?
Yeah.
Mr. Stain, you're right. You probably could have done a little something with that. Yeah. But the Nexus was so hot, and then, like you said, Wade Barrett's injury prone, so they slide CM Punk right into that slot. And CM Punk was, when he started being kind of like the thing with Jeff Hardy, like the addict angle, like Jeff Hardy's an addict. You remember that?
Yeah.
That got him over as like a slime ball. Then people started to like him, and then he's this renegade with the Nexus.
Yeah, they kicked Barrett out of the group.
Yeah.
They had a confrontation, and then the guys slid in, and you thought they were going to attack Punk, and then they attacked Barrett. That's how they wrote him off TV.
Because he was injured. But, Man, like was that the right move? Because I think it was. We're getting into like the territory with the pipe bomb and the Money in the Bank matches.
Yeah.
2011. Go ahead, Kev, speak on it.
I would say so because, you know, I think at that point in time, things with Punk was kind of going stale. So they needed something to bring him back into being that bad guy because he at that time he was a bad guy.
Yeah, you can only pick on a guy's like rehab so many times before it's the same thing over and over again.
Well, Straight Edge Society was interesting.
Y'all like
with Serena Deeb and Festus, but like, and that was an interesting little combination. They did a really good couple good things with that Royal Rumble, I thought.
Just Serena wrestle in WWE during that time.
She did, but then, you know, unfortunately, she had some issues, and then that's why she got let go. But then we saw her at AEW last year. She looked so good, dude. She's like unbelievable.
And somebody behind us was like, "Hey, Serena, hip break. I'm like, "Hey, that was not me.
No, not you. She's awesome. She's so good. Are you a big Serena Deeb fan?
I like her as a heel.
Yeah.
I do not like her as a babyface.
Yeah. She just has that menacing look to her.
Because as a heel, I like her controlling the match. She has a really good psychology, and she paces the match really well.
I agree.
And when she's a babyface, it doesn't.
Andy asked, why is there an echo? I don't know, Andy. Good question. So we're not hearing an echo. We'll resolve that issue with during the commercial break. Good question. So you get CM Punk, you get the Nexus. They don't really push them. They kind of disappear. But CM Punk is still, he ain't red hot.
He's white
hot, baby. And this is kind of like, to me, like that's really just like the era of we hate Cena because he's the corporate tool. And CM Punk. I was watching that match earlier to prepare for the show. That is one of the most volatile crowds I've ever seen in Chicago for that Money in the Bank match. To set this angle up, folks, they have a match where CM Punk cuts the infamous pipe bomb promo, what's called the pipe bomb promo. And in that promo, he runs down to Vince McMahon, he runs down Triple H for basically the only reason him being in there is because he's married to Stephanie. He's pulling back the curtain, which really wasn't that popular at the time. And people were really into that. That 18 to 35 dude crowd lashed.
Because we're right in the meat of the sports entertainment era at this point.
Yeah, it's TDP at this point. And CM Punk's out there cussing, throwing stuff around. And in the story, CM Punk's contract was up. It was done. He was leaving the company, but his very last match was going to be this title match with John Cena at Money in the Bank. Go ahead and lay out that match for us, Cam. What are your thoughts about that match?
That match, that was a nice little match right there because, like you said, it was his last match. And it was at that point where you didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know if Punk was going to win the belt or Cena was going to retain it.
Yeah.
This was at that time where things kind of like blurred the lines between what was real and what was going on in the wrestling world.
They did such a good job of making it seem like CM Punk was out.
Yeah.
And you were just expecting Cena to win. And that match was a great wrestling match. They left the ring like 3 times in that match. And when they left the ring, they got right back in. They were really wrestling.
Well, you got to win it in the title's on the line. So it's not like a street fight. You got to win the title in the middle. That's what Gorilla Monsoon. You got to win in the middle of the ring. And then post match, I remember Punk showed the picture of the belt chilling in his refrigerator. And that was like. But he mentioned Cabana. He mentioned who else? Did he mention in his promo?
ACL.
Yeah,
they were ringside.
So I mean, you know, you're blurring the lines there, which was kind of unheard of since probably the NWO.
Probably.
DS, like you heard it then. Like Bischoff challenging Vince. We've talked about all that, but
but this time it was just like it was gone away from that.
Yeah, you were so far removed from that era that now here it is, and it's a whole new generation of fans, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!"
And then
we're all sitting there. Yeah, this is what we want.
The finish is fantastic. I think the echo's coming from. I think you might have to mute your microphone.
My mic is muted.
Okay, is yours muted?
And my sound is all the way down.
Mine is too. Interesting. They say we got a text message here saying we're good on everything except for the streaming. So we'll take a look at that. We're almost at the next commercial break. We'll take a look at it. But like you said, CM Punk wins.
What was the exact finish of the match?
So the finish of the match, they're going to go to this incredible finishing sequence, right? All's faulty. Here comes Johnny Ace, and here comes Vince. Do the Montreal.
That's right.
Johnny Ace is heading over to ring the bell. Cena slides out, clotheslines Johnny Ace, slides back in, starts jaw-jacking with Vince, turns around. Punk hits the GTS 1, 2, 3, grabs the belt, and he's out. And that crowd was going nuts. And Vince did such a good job. And I think Cena did such a good job. Because it wasn't typical cliche Cena, right? It was like, he was acting like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're about
to lose this, right? The company's done. The whole company's on my shoulders right now. Yeah. And then when he wins the belt, you didn't get Mr. McMahon with the whole, overdrive. He was literally like, he was red-faced. He doesn't know what to do. They did such a wonderful job with that storyline. And it was really fantastic. And CM Punk just kind of moved on to the move. I mean, he moved out. Like
he took like a few weeks off. Yeah. And I think at that time he was doing like let's talk about contracts, because that was when he had about a few weeks. That's when he came out to Cult of Personality.
Yeah, when he came back, yeah, absolutely, he did that. And then you remember he showed up at San Diego Comic-Con when Triple H was doing the WWE panel. He was in the audience with the belt. He had the Ring of Honor T-shirt on. This is custom out. And I remember at the time they were there. I heard whispers like, "We should have him defend the WWE belt on a Ring of Honor show." And I think he almost did, but it fell apart. Obviously, Vince probably pulled the plug on that.
Yeah,
but like,
what's Ring of Honor?
What's that? Yeah. What was that, or TNA? At the time, TNA was really kind of getting super competitive.
Yeah, he needed a Ring of Honor. Yeah, he mentioned that in the promo.
Right, and he had Hogan and Nash and Hall and Booker T and Steiner. Like, they weren't going to let him defend that belt on that show. Yeah. But Ring of Honor, I could see him at the time, because at the time, if I'm remembering correctly, that was when Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli had the belt in Ring of Honor for like 2 years. Yeah. Like, if they would have just done a title for title, a little schmoz finish or whatever, I think that would have been.
Well, 5 years away from them having their whole roster anyway.
Right. Because
they're about to dump Sammy, Kevin, Cesaro, Joe,
Claudio.
There's a lot, probably others we're forgetting, but they're all coming. So.
Right, they're all coming, and they're all going to be on the show anyway, so it doesn't matter. And none of them got over anyway, so not their fault. Not their fault. Not their bad.
That was the thing, because Vince McMahon did an interview with Stone Cold, and he said that he didn't like Cesaro. I'm like, how do you not like Cesaro? You know that
he's taller than me. He's taller than us. He's jacked. He speaks 5 languages.
Stronger than 2 people put together.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally throwing the Big Show around like a pizza pie.
Doing the spin with Ali.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, how's he not over right now?
Because he couldn't cut a promo.
I mean,
Vince would find the weakness in a person and just latch onto it.
Yeah.
But he didn't like Shaq. He'd be like, put Shaq, he can't shoot 3-pointers.
Right,
pal.
Right.
And that'd be like his reason to fire Shaq.
Right.
I don't like you. Don't like
Or something weird too. Like it was an unrelated weakness.
Yeah.
Shaq can't dance ballet.
Yeah.
We can't do anything with it.
Right.
Like, come on, man. But
that was his mindset.
That was his mindset. It's just
and he couldn't bash Punk, even though he probably hated his physical appearance, but he sold merch and the crowd liked him.
It's money talks.
Yeah.
It's money. I was listening to Bruce Pritchard talk. Like, Vince's mentality is Vince could straight up hate a dude. Hate him. But if they're over and they're moving merchandise,
so it wasn't Mick Foley.
He's good. Yeah, exactly.
And Mick Foley.
Exactly. I don't even like Mick
I think
Foley.
he liked him later after he went off the cell. I think he realized there's something there short term, but I think before that he didn't really.
It was such a tough gimmick to understand. Like this guy's like Hannibal Lecter, and he's in every single boiler room in every arena that we go to.
That's his dressing room,
right? But still, it's like a hard pill to swallow. And then like put Paul Bearer with him. Okay. And then, I think also too, maybe I want your opinion on this. He decided to put Mankind over on the Undertaker or make him a direct threat to the Undertaker. And then I think he immediately regretted that.
Oh, no.
Like probably because he kind of pulled the brakes on it a little bit and put him in a tag team with Kane.
Yeah. And it was just kind of, I don't know.
Well, then he became like a stooge for Vince for a little bit too.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right. We got to go pay some bills right now. We come back. We're going to talk about some odds and ends in the feud because at this point, once John's out, loses the belt, he takes time off, he goes part-time. We'll talk about his feud when we come back.
Hello, it's John Kozik,
One thing I wanted
founder
to talk
and
about
president of
too
TurboTrack
before we get
Realty,
into the
and I
past
buy
year.
real
We're
estate.
And Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Kev to preach on it.
Get the pastel suit.
Yeah. Only in the pastel suit.
We are cards subject to change. Trying to imagine me in a pastel suit.
It's true.
And we are sponsored by the game Heads Up 7-Up. Did y'all play the game in school?
Hey, if it was recess and it was raining,
Yep.
it was Heads Up 7-Up.
It was either raining on recess or It was Friday, and the teacher was like, "You know what? I ain't really got nothing else to do. We're gonna play Heads Up, Seven Up,
Or watch a movie.
or watch a movie." That's when that big old TV came in. You already knew it was gonna be something
On the cart.
Yeah,
with the cord wrapped around it.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember that Square One show about math?
Yes.
It was all like little Saturday Night Live skits about math.
Yep.
MathNet, remember that?
I remember that.
All right.
Oh my God.
I think that we fixed our echo problem. Someone let us know. I believe that everybody's muted on StreamYard. I think it's the microphones passing each other off. But we're back.
And we're better than ever.
And we're better than ever. We're better than ever. That's right. So this is good stuff because we're going to get and dip right into, we're going to keep it moving. This is segment number 3 of the show. Let's just talk before we get into this last year, because I feel like we got a lot of opinions about this last year. He's part-time. He's in, he's out. He's in, he's out. He's feuding with AJ Styles. That was good. Got him over. But you were talking about during the break, Sarge, and this was really a good point. When they bring him back, he's Super Cena again.
Right.
There's kind of this reluctance to get other people over at his expense. And at this point in his career, he's winding down because of the injuries, but at the same time, you really think about this, and I want your guys' opinion. He's now been hotter and doing this on the top level longer than Hogan.
Yeah.
Because Hogan's big babyface run was 83 to 93. Let's call it when he loses to Yoko. That's pretty much the end of that phase of Hulkamania, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, 8 years with TV and pay-per-view, 10 years counting everything.
Counting everything.
Yeah.
And then, he goes to WCW, okay, but then a year and a half later, he's the biggest villain in the business. And then they bring him back and he's, get the nostalgia run, and that's that. But Cena's like the guy still. He's feuding with the Wyatt family. He's feuding with Rusev. He did Shield. Seth Rollins by himself as part of the Authority.
Hall of Pain.
Mark
Henry was in there.
But at the end, Cena's still going up on these guys, which is the classic formula. But you think about Mark Henry in this time. We'll use Mark Henry because I love Mark Henry. I know you love Mark Henry.
I do.
Mark Henry, you love Mark Henry. Like, his work was, for his size and his frame and his speed, his work was really good. Yes. And he was really over at that time. What do you think the reluctance was? Like, all right, we got to get Mark over on Cena. And then he'll be like God tier villain.
I think at that time he was injury prone because he had issues with his knee.
Yeah.
So I think with him, if they was to put the belt on him and then he'll get hurt, they was afraid if he was going to be injury prone with the knees, or they have to relinquish the belt after about 2 weeks or so. They didn't want to have that.
It happened to him. He won the belt from Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Then he beat beat Taker, took the belt from Orton, smashed him. Remember?
Yeah.
World's Strongest Slam 1, 2, 3. Then blew his knee out in the middle of his reign. So now they're reluctant. They rebuild Mark Henry. They put him in the Kool-Aid outfit. Him and MVP. Remember when they?
I remember that. Yeah.
All red.
And they're feuding with Jericho, and they're trying to rebuild Mark Henry as a singles guy. And then he turned into kind of a goof. So when they did the Hall of Pain, it was like, now we're turning Mark Henry heel, and here we go. He's healthy. It worked, though.
It did work. Honestly, almost everything he did worked, other than like Mr. All-American Babyface when he first started.
Yeah.
That was kind of the only thing that really didn't click. But like, as terrible as it was, Sexual Chocolate did get a response, even though I didn't. What?
You didn't like Sexual Chocolate?
The guy can deadlift an automobile.
True.
Like,
yeah, it needed to be a blend of Sexual Chocolate and the Mark Henry in 02 where he's leg pressing cars while they're trying to drive it against the building. It needed to be a mixture.
I think that had Vince Russo written all over it right there.
I would have had girls work it together where he does the impressive feat.
Yeah.
And then the girls come over to him. They're like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Wow, you're so strong, and then he puts 2 girls on his arms and heads out.
The Schwarzenegger, Andre the Giant pose.
Yes.
Got the girls on.
It could have been both.
You could have blended it. You're right. You guys are right. It could have worked. I just didn't like how they made him like predatory. You know what I mean? Like he's out the girls' locker room licking his lips.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I
And the
like.
hands with Mae
Yeah,
Young.
that's
So stupid.
Terrible.
And talking about he was his first sexual experience was with his sister.
That was awful.
That was terrible.
And the Sammy the transgender was
Oh my
terrible.
god,
That
terrible.
was awful.
They
Just
paid
awful.
the hand off though. Remember the hand was
Yeah.
at Mania.
yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
Vince Russo.
Yeah.
God bless America.
Old stain.
Old stain. But so like in this time frame, you know, he does get Rusev. He does put Rusev over for the U.S. title, and I think the objective of getting the U.S. title onto Cena was, hey, let's take him back a little bit from the world heavyweight picture, but try to get him over. But they had him go over on a lot of guys he should have been putting over.
Del Rio beat him in his
Yep.
return for in the U.S. Open Challenge.
Yeah,
and that was the birth of the Open Challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
don't think it was the first time he did it, but that was where that was the first. I don't think it was the first match though.
No, it wasn't the first match, but
It
was
was definitely the first run of the U.S. Open Challenge. Yeah.
I love that type of stuff right there.
I love that too.
You talk about the Open Challenge, you don't know who you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. It's always a big shock.
Yeah.
It's always a surprise. And they always usually save a good, that's what they do really well. Like with the Rumble, like you never know who's coming out that tunnel at the Rumble, except for 21 to 23 is always a former world champion. Not sure why, but
I didn't notice that.
21 to 23 is always a former world champion or a main event guy.
Usually about that time when the ring needs cleared out a little bit too.
Right. So it'd always be like Triple H or Kane or Stone Cold.
Here comes Try.
Here comes Try. Shawn Michaels, we love you for giving us our little meme there or whatever. Old Try. But, you know, I think we got to talk really next because I really want to like move all this stuff forward to talk about this last year in the last couple segments here because there was so much bad in this last year, but there was also a lot of good. But we got to talk about the WrestleMania match with the Wyatt family that was the cinematic match.
Oh, man.
And this was a really unique concept, folks, because this is the COVID year, right? This is COVID. You can't. WrestleMania literally was held at the NXT studio and in front of an empty arena because you couldn't have live people. You had people literally coming in virtually that were plugged into a screen. You remember that?
Yeah.
When you could just
Thunderdome.
watch, the Thunderdome. And the match was interesting because it was like a feature film. There were supernatural effects and then what if moments and all this other stuff. Kev, you remember watching that match? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Did you think it had potential and didn't make it? What were your thoughts on that match?
I liked the match because it was Cena and Bray Wyatt going back and forth on like the different characters that they had. You know, they had Cena when he first came out with Ruthless Aggression Cena.
Yeah.
And then he went to rapping Cena and then
NWO Cena.
NWO, yeah, when he joined the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge what if right there.
Yeah.
If he would have joined the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed that one right there. That was a nice little match with them going back and forth on the different things that they had.
Firefly Funhouse stuff. Yeah, I thought it was interesting because hypothetically speaking, Cena could have debuted with the NWO.
Yeah.
He started in 2002. The NWO was there in 2002.
It'd have been better than Booker T joining.
Yes.
They didn't need Booker.
That was random as all get out.
Yeah.
We're obviously pro wrestling. I don't want to say we're purists, but you know, because we do have tolerance for the Gaga at times. But what did you think of this cinematic match? Because the only other cinematic match they ever did was Undertaker's retirement match, ironically.
Yeah.
But
I like that one too.
But what did you think of that match?
They also did wasn't the swamp match with Braun Strowman and who was the?
It was Strowman and Orton, wasn't it?
And Wyatt. Strowman and Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the swamp match.
And didn't Edge and Orton do a match that was kind of like that too?
Oh yeah.
During the COVID era.
Oh yeah.
Was it cinematic or was
it was called the greatest match of all time?
There it is. I remembered it was.
And
something.
then wasn't the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match with your boy LA Knight and
who?
That was cinematic.
Never heard of him.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Who?
But
the guy with the cracked sternum that'll probably get released after WrestleMania.
and also
Mhm.
the Firefly Fun or the cinematic match. They did the Money in the Bank cinematic match where they fought through the building.
Yeah, I like that one too.
But
yeah.
to get back on point, Firefly Funhouse match was good for hitting all those bullet points that
Yeah.
Kev talked about. That was what made it so good.
I agree with you. And, I don't think that it would be over today because we're back to being in front of a live audience and doing traditional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
But for COVID and not
Yeah, what else do you do?
well, you can't do anything, right? You can't really do anything else, right? You just have.
You know the story. If I told
Regular
you the story
matches.
about Vince with that Money in the Bank match where they got pushed off the roof.
Yes.
Did I tell you that, Kev, about
No.
Vince? So you know how the guy went off the ladder and fell, like it looked like he went off the roof.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wanted to do it. So Vince was like, I'll show you how to do it, pal. And he went up and did it, like jumped off the roof.
Oh wow.
Yeah, to show him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sean was scared of the zip line. And
Sure
Vince,
was.
There's footage of Vince going up there, strapping himself in and doing the zip line.
Dude, I can't wait till we have our Vince episodes.
We'll have it.
I just
We'll-
can't wait.
He's
many
gonna-
stories.
He's gonna puke.
So
The
good.
bar stories of Vince. He got mad at everybody in the bar and he told him he's the toughest guy in the company and
Yeah.
they were all ribbing him. And he said, I'll take everybody's finisher right here in the bar.
He took the doomsday device.
Yes, he took the doomsday device off the bar.
In a cement
Wow.
onto a cement floor.
Yeah. Flipped, they said, through a table and everything.
Maniacal.
Jeez.
Maniacal. But but like the Firefly Funhouse match is definitely worth watching because again, it was such a weird time in
Yeah.
wrestling history and it was such an interesting moment. And I thought, for better or for worse, they did a good job just keeping the show going.
And you
You
can
know?
do something like that in the COVID area
Yeah.
because, like how you said, nobody was there.
Right.
So you can do pre-tapes and you can
Second
do
takes.
second and third takes, however you want to. You can do an all-day project if you want to.
Yeah.
For real.
They probably did. They
And
probably
yeah.
brought those guys in and taped that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And those matches, like think about that Undertaker and AJ Styles beam. That's gonna live forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where your Undertaker pops up behind AJ while he's laughing.
Oh,
Yeah.
That meme is like,
Still going on.
yeah.
They
what
made
was that?
they made a toy of that.
Yeah.
So that you get Taker on the bike and it's got the grappling hook coming off the back and you
Yep.
can hook they made the AJ with the jeans and you can hook his foot and just drag
Drag him.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny. What do you guys think is best? Like, I thought he had a good tag with Selena Vega versus Rusev and Lana.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
next
I
tag.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought that was good. He came back for that special event. And that's kind of a weird pairing, but it worked. And Selena
It did
Vega
work.
is, I want to talk about get on the road. Like, she was really good, and now she's kind of like just managing her husband.
Yeah, pretty
do you
much.
Think, do you think is that like an injury thing? You think, or like just a burnout thing, or
It's just a change of pace for her, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. With her husband being there, it's like, oh hey, let's put y'all together and you be the manager.
it's so lazy booking.
I think too she's doing like a little witchcraft thing now,
Yeah,
a little bit, and I don't think she would want to wrestle while doing that.
I agree with that too. But like, it's just such a weird gimmick change because she's like Queen of Puerto Rico, and now she's a sorceress. Like,
Right.
They just don't. It's just not
Make it make sense.
right. Like Sensational Sherry, like.
Yes.
Like HBK, Shawn, like you go from Shawn Michaels to the $1 Million Man and Macho Man, and I don't know that's out of order, but like they're all kind of the same thing.
You gotta remember, you're talking about Sherry, bro.
Well, Sherry's
I mean,
nobody's better.
That's
Nobody's
a whole
better.
different league.
But
than
still,
Selena
like-
Vega's like going to Walmart.
Yeah, it's Timu Sherry.
It's,
Timu
yeah,
Timu
sincere.
Sherry.
No, that's no diss on her.
it is
Selena's
no
good.
disrespect.
But
It's
she's-
Sherry.
Sherry's- Another
Yeah.
tier, another level. But what do you guys think the best match out of that whole? I know we're talking about like a 10-year span here, but what do you guys think like the best use of him was, or what do you think you should have done with him?
I'll say that Firefly match was real good.
Yeah.
I love that was one of the matches I could watch like all day.
Yeah, it's real creative. It really is.
Yeah, highly creative.
Who do you think he should have elevated in this time?
At this time, Probably would have had Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
He did a little feud with Sheamus. Sheamus actually won his first title.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of like a weird finish too, because they were
Tables match.
It was a tables match, and they were going for the superplex, and Cena just fell off. Remember that? Off to the floor, went through the tables like an accident. It didn't even look like a real. It wasn't a definitive finish. It didn't really get Sheamus over like I thought it would.
No,
it was like, oh, whoops.
Do you remember when Cena accidentally won Money in the Bank?
Yeah,
that's interesting. I want to hear more about that. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna go pay some bills and tell that story when you come back. We'll see you in a little bit, folks.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business.
Camara and Big Kev, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the second half of card subject to change. We are card subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He's been coming right. He is Sergeant Ledbetter. I'm on a school kick, man. I'm on an elementary school, middle school kick.
Sorry
right
for
now.
the technical difficulties, by the way.
What's the sponsor? The Tire Yard. I mean, it's got to be something.
Tetherball?
Like,
Tetherball?
The Tire Yard. It's got to be something
Tire,
like that.
tetherball?
Close.
Okay.
I'm talking about Christmas break.
All right, yes.
Sponsored by Christmas break.
Sponsored by Christmas
I
break.
can get down
Because
with
all
some
of us are on Christmas break every
Yes.
night.
The only thing I miss about school was being on a 2-week break.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I miss.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you got to go to work and all that stuff. And it's like, break. No, you, get no
You know what
break.
I always liked? And I don't know if this happened to you
What's up?
back in the
Back in the
50s.
hood?
Back in the 50s.
In the 50s in the hood?
You have your Christmas break, and then you get a nice snow right there at the end of it, and then you end up catching them for a couple
Brother,
more days.
I had
yeah,
that one
yeah,
year.
yeah.
We never had snow days in Michigan.
Oh,
It was
here
up,
we go.
It was up before it hit the ground. But you all get like an inch, and it's like, oh no, Lurleen,
yeah.
get the Kenny Chesney albums.
Oh,
Let's say it after the.
That's now.
That's
back,
now?
Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
They give you maybe one snow day
and then you
to
power
get it together,
through, right?
and then you had to literally walk uphill
Both ways.
both ways,
All right.
and I had to step in the steps of the person in front of me so I didn't sink in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. One year we had, we had the 2 weeks and everything like that. And then it was the day before we were supposed to go back to school. It snowed like a good 6 inches or something like that. School was closed for the whole week. And then the next week, school was closed the whole next week. I don't think we ended up going back. We ended up going back to school like
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Kev had to get his Power Ranger Valentine's together.
It was MLK Day. We had to go back, and then we had the news where we had to make the days up. We made those days up on a Saturday.
Wow.
Saturday.
It was 5 Saturdays we had to go to school.
That's torture there.
That's horrible.
Man, when I tell y'all, I was so pissed.
Man.
I'm going up in there like, okay, so y'all just gonna sleep on the whole day, and I'm going to school.
I'm surprised they didn't just give you homework. They gave us packets. We just worked homework packets to make up the time if we missed too many days like that.
And they gave us homework too.
I liked it. I liked being in, Michigan. Like, I liked that it snowed on Halloween and there was snow on the ground until like March 15th.
Yeah, it snowed here on Halloween 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it was just like, this is winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wake up to like a super white Christmas. Maybe that's corny.
I thought he was going to say wake up to the Super Bowl. Now you know
There
the
was
Lions.
snow outside
The
of the
Lions
Super
were
Bowl.
hosting.
We hosted the Super Bowl
Yeah,
twice.
they hosted
Twice.
They found their way there, but
Yeah.
they're like Buffalo. They're trying to get back.
I had those tickets. It was Steelers and I forget. It was Steelers. Steelers won because that was Jerome Bettis' retirement match in Detroit.
Terrible at Ford Field. That was the year they beat the Bengals because Carson broke his leg.
Yeah, Detroit came out because Jerome's from Detroit, so Detroit came out for Jerome Bettis. But that I ended up selling those tickets that year, and it paid for next year's season tickets.
I bet you cashed out. Would you get like $5,000 out of those tickets? Yeah.
We ever in the Silverdome?
That was that was when I was way
Ford
young.
Field.
The one at the Silverdome was the 49ers and the Bengals.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Bettis.
The Bettis's, I don't remember who it was with, but all I remember is that was Bettis's retirement game.
Yeah,
and like Detroit came out.
They screwed
like,
the Seahawks in that game.
Was it Seahawks?
Yeah, they screwed them in the game.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a work. NFL's a work.
Hasselbeck got called for a personal. He threw an interception and then he tackled the guy and got called for a personal foul.
Sure did.
And it was like, really? You're gonna call a quarterback for a personal foul? It's so bad. I mean, come on. It's so bad.
Like kind of like the Lions and Rams game where the guy caught the ball at the 5 and just rolled into the end zone.
Yes.
You got a touchdown. I mean, I almost put my controller through the television, man. It was bad. But yeah, so we got to get back to John Cena because we are all going on Christmas break after this. This is our last episode of Cards Subject to Change until the new year. Will be in ESPN syndication the next 2 weeks. But man, I got to tell you, like, for as awful as the Cena final run was, his matches were chef's kiss.
Yeah, there were.
Every match he had. I'm going to go through this real quick.
Yeah,
last segment is we're going to go all about his final match. So WrestleMania 41. I thought the match with Cody Rhodes was good.
Banger.
I did too.
Banger, even with there. Then he goes to Backlash and wrestles Randy Orton. Also outstanding match. Then they go to Paris and he wrestles Logan Paul at Clash in the Castle.
Love that too.
Great match. Saturday night's main event, that first one with R-Truth.
Yes.
Great.
Ron Cena.
Great. Ron Cena. Yep. Then we go to Money in the Bank. It was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus him and Logan Paul. Awesome tag match. Very good. Very, very good. SummerSlam. SummerSlam was what he turned babyface again right after that match, right?
Yes.
SummerSlam, because it was him and Cody, and they just dog walked each other, man. That was such a stiff match. They beat each other almost to death.
That was a match we thought for sure Rock was going to come back and get involved in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he did not.
Yeah.
And then he did not. And it was kind of it was a great match, but we didn't get what we wanted out of the match.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? You ever see a great match and it's not kind of sour bite to end the meal?
We set our expectations at a certain spot and then it didn't happen and it let us down.
Yeah, exactly. And then, he loses the belt to Cody there, becomes a babyface the next night. Let's talk about the babyface turn because it's not really a turn. He comes to the ring on SmackDown and just says, sorry for being a jerk.
Yeah.
Right. And the crowd, but they were hanging from the rafters.
Yeah, they were.
Bananas.
As the late great Pat Patterson would say, hey, they're gonna go bananas. But I mean, that was great. It was not great, but it was weird. Like, what did you think about that? Was that like, if I was writing it, whoever wrote that, and it was probably Triple H, I just hang my head in embarrassment at that point. Like when the crowd goes nuts off of like him just saying sorry.
Well, at that point, it's just you're conceding to the obvious,
right?
And it needed to be simple. They didn't need to go into a big soliloquy about how they messed up.
Right?
They knew it. Cena knew it. Everybody knew it.
Yeah, everybody knew that they messed up because Cena's just gonna come out and say, "Hey, my bad. Yeah, let's move on. You guys are cheering me. Let's go. Let's sell some merch and let's take this thing home."
Yeah, and I loved how he kept the block letters still.
Yeah.
And then all the lights went out, just the block letters. And then when they got to the part in the song where the beat drops, like all the lights blow up and everything like that.
Yep.
That was a really cool crowd effect. That was really nice. But then he goes on and has a couple matches, but his match with AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah. That
was probably one of his best matches. Man. Talk about that match a little bit, Kev. What were your thoughts and feelings on that one?
Back and forth. They showed everything that they could do. I'm speechless about this match right here.
Yeah.
If you never seen this match, that's one of the things you gotta put into your brain. Like, no, I gotta watch it.
It's actually better than their first one.
Yeah.
I know I say this all the time, but like when I see guys my age do that, doesn't that make, because we're all the same, doesn't that make you want to run through a brick wall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Goldberg's last match. And he's taking the clothesline backwards over the top rope. He does the spear through the barricade. This is a 59-year-old man running full speed headfirst through a barricade.
And people have the nerve to bash him online.
That makes me so mad.
The internet wrestling community is some of the most unhappiest people.
Toxic.
So toxic.
Ever, yo.
Like they don't understand that the training that goes into being able to go full speed and make contact with somebody and not hurt them and not hurt yourself.
And not dislocate your own shoulder or break your own collarbone or whatever.
And Bill Goldberg, love him, hate him, whatever. I mean, you can't say he didn't work hard.
Right.
Can't say he didn't try hard.
Work rate.
Sure. I gotta say that work rate in the work rate in the John Cena match was really, really good. It was really, really good. Almost as good as Masada.
Yeah, where they screwed that up though is they ran out of time.
Yes.
So after the match was over, they didn't give him his flowers and let him do his little speech and whatever. They kind of just were like, "Well, gotta go,
yeah, bye."
And he's still pissing about it.
Yeah, and I can't really blame him though. I'd be mad about it too if I was him.
He's like I mean, I kind of compare Goldberg to Sting, like in the back half of his career, or CM Punk. Like this guy is so big and so popular, but he's just an attraction.
Right.
He's not like, you look at someone like Jericho, and it's like Jericho's there, and it's banger every single week, like clockwork. Then you get to the pay-per-view, and it's triple banger, right? But then, like, you look at Goldberg, and it's like a banger 3 times a year, or him doing, the Goldberg shtick 3 times a year. And not that that's bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I was never a huge fan of Goldberg, but I also hate squash matches.
Yes.
The reason I hate squash matches is because I get it. Like a guy gets to go out there and do his 5 moves and look good, but it doesn't really tell you anything about the guy.
Right.
And it doesn't do anything for the other guy.
You're exactly right. With Goldberg, it just kind of caught fire. Him squashing people, like that was his whole gimmick, was that he was squashing people. And with everybody else, as far as like with CM Punk, he doesn't squash people, but CM Punk's only valuable, in my opinion, when he wins. Yeah, when he has a big match, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatever.
Yeah,
if he wins, that's what makes him valuable, because he's the best wrestler in the world.
Danielson's kind of like that too.
Yes, agreed, 100%. Like he was only valuable when he wins. He told a great story with Orton and Batista being the underdog and overcoming that, but that was lightning in a bottle. That was like one thing, one time. It was not.
Like Kofi Mania.
Right.
Kofi Mania.
Yep. Kofi Mania. Yep. That's exactly right. But, you build up and you build up. His match with AJ was great. What do you guys think was his best match out of all of that? Was it AJ? Was it something else?
I'll say him and AJ.
Yeah.
That match with Brock, I didn't like that.
Let's talk about that for a second, because we're talking about WrestlePalooza.
Yes.
It's the opening match. It's Cena's first appearance back to being Super Cena. At the end of SummerSlam, they run Lesnar out there, give him the F5. Crowd's going crazy, but they're going crazy because they haven't seen Brock in forever. He's caught up in that Vince, did he not, with Vince McMahon.
Right.
But we saw with the return, the crowd was definitely glad to see him.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was, well, what's he going to do? He comes out and gives Cena the big F5, laughs, and walks off. And the crowd's into it because they're happy to see him. But we get to WrestlePalooza, and he squashes John Cena in his first babyface match back on his retirement tour.
Yeah.
This is another thing I call a misstep. Like, why did you do that?
This was one of those things where you remember when long time ago when you played video games and then you play like a wrestling game.
Yeah.
And you try to do a 1 or 2 player, the second player is not playing.
The batteries went dead.
Batteries went dead.
NPC, non-playable character.
Non-playable character. He was just like, you know what? We're just going to treat it just like this. Brock Lesnar was the number 1 player, and John Cena was the second player. His batteries ran out. I don't know why. They didn't need to do this.
What do you think and they never paid it off?
No.
Never.
Because there was speculation there even 2 months ago. Like, okay, we're going to do Lesnar and Cena in Cena's retirement match. Cena's going to get the Duke and go out,
They also teased Cena joining the babyface team in the chamber or in the War Games.
Yeah.
Getting the win by tapping Brock out.
Yeah.
That would have been like the
come
finish.
His come up.
Yeah.
We're getting his win
Which
back.
would have made sense.
Yeah. But they didn't do that.
Seth got hurt, and I think that changed plans.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where the plans change.
Injuries always end up derailing so much.
Yes.
Drugs and injuries.
Yep.
Seem like to be like the two. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now people don't really get arrested anymore. I think the last person to get arrested was Sonya Deville.
Well, when I say drugs too, I mean like steroid pops and stuff, not necessarily like bad drug. I'm talking about like getting popped for a steroid test or whatever. And then they got to drop the title.
But even so, they don't really get arrested anymore. Sonya Deville for the gun. Right?
Yeah.
She and that's not her fault. I don't blame her. She was getting stalked pretty hard. But anyways, we got to go to break. We'll be back. We're going to talk about Cena's final match. Get the box of tissues out for Kev. Just kidding. We'll see you in a bit.
Hey, Cordell Transportation is now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers, excellent paid benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply right now online at CordellTransportation.com. Do it right now. Driven to succeed.
Menards has everything you need to finish up your bathroom before Christmas. Homeworks creates faucets that will align perfectly with your style. Get water without.
And he was working for TNA at the time.
We're back.
We are card subject to change. I'm Big Kev. He is Ben Chimera, and he is Sergeant Ledbetter. And you know it's dinner time. You know everybody's hungry right now.
All right.
So we are sponsored by one of my favorites. And I know one of y'all's favorites too.
Okay.
Ryan's Family Steakhouse.
There you go.
There you are. There it is.
Love it. Holds a special place to my heart.
Did they have a burger bar in there? Was that
know
the
what?
one that had the burger bar?
I think they did.
I think that's what I would. That was my go-to.
I think
Yeah.
they did.
I'd get the burger bar from
Mhm.
there. I like that.
I was always the one to have macaroni and cheese and ham chunks on top.
We talked
That
about
does
that
sound good.
one week. I remember.
Yeah.
Was Ryan's the one where you ordered the steak and then the buffet came with it, or was the steak
That was
on the
Ponderosa.
buffet?
Ponderosa.
You ordered the steak and then you got the buffet.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I remember that now.
Yeah, we used to.
It's sad that all this stuff's out of business.
Craziness.
Me and Sarge, okay, drove together past what mall is that?
Forest Fair Mall, Cincinnati Mills.
It looks like it was leveled by an atomic
It
bomb.
looks like
Really?
they dropped
It's
a-
gone.
It does. It looks like they dropped a nuke on it. It's just
It's
rubble.
a hole,
Wow.
a hole in the ground and with rubble.
What?
Yeah.
The parking garage is literally a pile of concrete and rebar, and all the buildings are just. I bet that was a mess when they dropped that.
Probably.
What about Tri-County? Is Tri-County still up?
Tri-County, I think, and they're taking it down in parts from the last
Ah.
time I saw.
What do you do with that though?
Yeah. What do you,
Apartments. That's what it ended up
We talked
being.
about it.
Yeah.
Apartments makes the most sense, but
Yeah.
we'll see about that. All right, we got to get into it because it's incredibly controversial. A lot of people have a lot of feelings. John Cena's last match. So they do a tournament to build up to this. In the finals of the tournament, it's LA Knight versus Gunther.
One of your
Obviously,
favorites?
yeah, obviously.
Good
Well-
match, though. I know you don't like the guy, but it was a good match. It was what it needed to be.
I mean, after 24 years, I think he could finally
You
learn
would
how to
think
work.
he'd be able to. I mean, the right guy
Finally.
went over,
Right.
but Gunther, LA Knight has bad habits.
Oh, really?
Now
Tell
listen,
Me, tell me
hold
more.
on. Be objective for a second
Tell me
here.
more.
He has bad habits in the ring that don't translate to WWE style,
Yeah.
is what I'm getting at. Gunther masked all that in the match and kept him on a right path to where you actually thought he might win that match.
Gunther is the Bret Hart
Yes.
of the modern era.
And that would make LA Knight Tom McGee.
Mulkey.
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 Ah.
Mulkey level.
Wow.
Mulkey with the vitamin S.
Ben Ben's about to turn red.
I'm not going to turn red.
But do you think it was awkward that they did a turn? Now, obviously, they announced the tournament before he won the title from Dom. Do you think it was awkward they did a tournament to wrestle Cena?
Here's the thing.
Like he's some trophy.
This is such a big thing because he's not bigger than Hogan necessarily. He has twice the longevity of Hogan. He's so popular. He's moved all this merchandise. He's sold all these tickets. You've announced his retirement. He's announced his retirement. You know this is going to be the last match.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't it? I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but we'll just go with it. Why wasn't it Orton and a double retirement?
Yeah.
Why wasn't it Edge? Why didn't Vince, not Triple Vince, why didn't Triple H, Triple Vince, why didn't Old Try get on the phone with Tony Khan and be like, look, this is such a precipitous event in pro wrestling. It's happening one time and never again. We'll co-promote this one.
Yeah.
We'll co-promote this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a Saturday night's main event brought to you by All Elite Wrestling and WWE.
Yeah.
This one thing, it's Edge and Cena one last time, double retirement.
Money.
Yeah.
Double retirement.
Yeah, and then they split the revenue or whatever, the sponsorship money. Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But real simple to do, in my opinion. But of course, in wrestling, the downfall of every man is woman, ego, or drugs.
Yeah. Could have had Kurt Angle on there.
Kurt Angle. I don't know if he's ready to go, but like
no, he couldn't. He wouldn't
but
have been able to.
Just having, like you said, you were painting a really good picture. Take us back down memory lane. All of your significant rivals back in the building.
Yeah. I would have had that be the constant thread throughout the whole night.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine Cena's in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a private dressing room.
Mhm.
And all night long, he's getting bothered.
Yep.
And he's starting to, he's sitting there and he's doing whatever and stretching. He's got the cables out. And then in walks, it could be anybody. Someone from his past. Doesn't have to be anybody big.
Alberto Del Rio.
Whatever.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it progressively gets bigger as the night goes on.
Yeah.
Maybe it starts with Cody and Punk.
Yep.
Because they're the guys there now.
Yep.
Then maybe you start to layer in Kurt. Here comes RVD. Here comes Mark Henry.
So Kane in there too.
Here comes Taker.
Yep. Here comes Kane.
Yeah.
And then Cena throughout the night, and he's starting to get progressively more mad.
Yeah.
And then he goes to get up and he's getting mad and he goes to walk out the door and there's him and Orton.
Yep.
And they
There it
have
is.
the stare down.
There it is.
Then he's
Cinema.
walking down the hallway.
Right.
He's
Mhm.
walking down the hallway to get ready to come out. And Taker gives him the pep talk, the same pep talk that he gave him after he wrestled Kurt.
Yep. And then as soon as he hits the curtain, Vince McMahon
Standing right there.
Doesn't
Yep.
say a word. Just walks right by Vince, right to the curtain.
Yep.
They missed a heavy bag on that one.
Like you don't have a chance. Don't even give the crowd a chance to boo Vince. Just have him there,
Yeah.
just standing there. Stephanie.
What if they would have had pictures on the wall
Yeah.
of the different people?
That
And there
could have
was
been
a
great
picture,
too.
and the last picture he saw was Vince. Just a painting of Vince
Man.
standing there
Right.
in his prime Vince pose. Man,
The story they were trying to tell with this match is it's just another match.
Yeah, pretty much.
But again, it missed the mark because we wanted big time theatrical scene. His WrestleMania entrances, maybe the Undertakers are better, but by this much, a hair. His WrestleMania, the HBCU marching band,
Yes.
the Army of Cenas, ramming that Challenger in through Ford Field, running it through the glass, peeling out a Chicago, the Gangster, the Machine Guns.
Yep.
All of that stuff was so great, and it was just like another entrance for Cena.
yeah. No
And
pyro,
Nope.
no nothing.
No theatrics, just the song and him walking to the ring.
Yep.
And I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing, but let's get into the match because the match was excellent.
Oh, I love
Excellent. And I wasn't sure where they were going with the finish because they kept going back to the choke, back to the choke,
Mhm.
back to the choke.
Choke or sleeper?
Well,
Yes.
they call it a rear naked choke. We call it a sleeper.
But it's not the same move.
It's not the same move
I've never seen anybody tap to a sleeper ever.
ever. But Cena, after about the 5th time he escapes the hold, gets back in it, lays there, struggles, smiles sheepishly into the camera, and gives this, like, for us to watch in video, gives kind of a lame fish tap out. Not a serious tap out, just kind of like I quit.
Yeah.
Now, our blood. All right, let's get into it. Let's start. You're going to go off. Let's start with Kev. Thoughts about this finish?
I understand what they were trying to do. I understand because, with John Cena saying never give up, he gave up right then and there, but he's just like, hey, I can't come back. I'm giving up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm riding off at the sunset. But for him to smile in the camera and do the tap, no, I didn't like that.
What went through your head as soon as the finish happened?
WTF. WTF.
All right, Sarge. Is that all you want to say on that one?
Hey,
let me preface what I'm about to say.
Okay.
We hold these wrestlers into a higher standard because of how great they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like watching TJ Fury versus Gaston LaRue at the VFW hall.
Yeah, wet paper bag.
You know
match.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a musical chairs match.
The musical chairs match.
We hold these guys to a higher standard because of that. Let me preface that so we don't get heat for saying, oh, these guys think they know more than Gunther and John Cena. That is not what I'm saying.
Except we do.
What I'm saying is, what is a bigger, and this is a simple A or B, what is bigger, Cena's legacy or Gunther's next little 5-year run? What's a bigger deal?
It's Cena's legacy.
Cena's legacy.
No brainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you need to protect?
Cena's legacy.
So you can accomplish, I always say in wrestling, let's check as many boxes as we can.
Yes. Yeah, agree with that.
Right?
100%.
You check all the boxes by having Cena pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because you still have Gunther go over. He can still brag about it. He can still add to his glove of retirement, Thanos glove that he's
gauntlet of retired wrestlers.
He can still add it to it right next to old Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can still protect Cena's legacy going forward as he never gave up. And there's where you have all these kids, all these people that have lived by that. And it means a lot more to them than it may be us.
Mm-hmm.
Little Jimmy on his deathbed with cancer, watching that. What does he have to fight for? And this is real. I'm not being stupid.
You're not being stupid.
I'm legit pissed off about it.
He stood over little kids' beds as they were dying.
Yes.
And said, never give up. He is the number one make-a-wish wish granter ever.
And you can call wrestling fake all you want, but that right there is real.
The feelings are real.
Is real. That kid laying on his deathbed using John Cena as his motivation is as real as it gets.
Yes.
And if you're going to take that away in a way that they did, then you don't care about that legacy going forward. And you have more mileage out of the legacy than you do Gunther's run, because 5 years from now, when they have no one for Gunther to work and he fades away, what are you going to have?
Nothing.
And that's why they booed Triple H out of the building.
And my heart is pounding right now. I'm so steamed up.
Well, and you're right about it, though, because they had one shot to get it right.
Yeah.
And if that was Cena's idea, to kill his own legacy, he's a moron.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would tell him that to his face. And he would not be able to explain to me without making me more mad.
Right. You wouldn't be able to sell to you why that was the right decision.
I wouldn't, because I would tell him, John, 20 years from now, when people are looking back and Gunther's nowhere, probably working AEW.
Yeah.
You're going to be looking at that going, I wish I would have protected my one thing I stood by, and that's never give up. You can't go back and fix that now. It's over.
He tapped out to Kurt Angle one time as Biker Trunks Cena.
And he tapped to Jericho to the walls of Jericho. But that's a whole different Cena. He was not even doing the never give up thing then.
Mm-hmm. Not since that.
That wasn't his creed.
It wasn't, right?
His creed from 2008, 9 was never give up.
Yep.
Make-A-Wish John Cena is real.
Yes.
That is not a work. You can look it up, folks. It's fact. Never give up. John Cena is real.
Mm-hmm.
You take that away, you kill that, and what do these people have to look forward to now? Nothing.
There's a sick kid in Stockholm, Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
He took a break from Peacemaker, put on the gimmick, the jorts, the shirt, got a private jet, flew to Stockholm, visited this sick kid on his deathbed.
Yeah.
And then flew back to Atlanta to film Peacemaker.
Yeah. And there's people that are listening to this right now. They'll say, well, you know what, Sarge? That's why they should have did it, because it's great heat.
Right.
No, I'm justifying what I'm saying with the legacy is worth more than that heat.
Exactly.
If Gunther was 30 and you knew you were going to get 15 years of Gunther, which you're not, let's just call it what it is. You're not
5 or 6 at the most.
You're going to 5 years from now, when Cody's gone, Drew's gone, Orton's gone, Punk's gone, Roman's gone, Jey Uso's gone,
Jimmy Uso,
blah, 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 blah. They're all gone. Seth's gone. Who's Gunther's feud going to be with in 5 years? Braun Breaker? Austin Theory?
Dominic?
Who cares?
Nobody
cares. Sami Zayn's going to be gone. Kevin Owens is going to be gone. All these guys are going to be gone. Cena's still going to be around. He's still going to be selling shirts. He's going to have the Hogan legacy.
That's what people don't understand. Like, the number one sellers of merch are Hogan and the NWO.
Yeah.
And Cena's going to be like
every Cena shirt has the logo that says never give up on
every one of them.
You can take it and rip it off and you can throw it in the garbage now. And now his shirt will say, you know what? Sometime dudes give up. And that is BS.
I saw an alliteration to the Obi-Wan Kenobi finish from Star Wars.
Yeah, Bubba Ray was talking about it.
Like, okay, Obi-Wan sacrifices himself to push Luke to the next level as a Jedi to take on the evil Empire.
How'd that work out for Luke? Or how'd that work out for Darth?
That's exactly what I'm saying. To your point, I get what they're trying to do. They told they shouldn't have done it, but even if they did do it, they told such a bad story leading up to that, that it came off so flat. Like, tell me the story here. Tell me, like, okay, Cena's on, he's doing press, he's doing interviews, they're all great. I can't do this anymore. I want to go out with a bang. And then, but why didn't you tell a story like, okay, John, nobody like Triple H, no one's over but you, John. You got to get out of here. I'm not saying do that exactly,
right?
But story bits where it's like Cena comes to the realization, I'm now holding this back. I'm the one holding back Jay or Jey Uso, or I'm holding back this guy, or I'm holding back that guy. Okay, now I gotta go.
And they could have did all that in video packages.
Yes.
But you know what they're doing instead? They're doing a tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of those guys are going to have anything coming out of that tournament.
Right.
We couldn't name the 12 guys or 16
couldn't
guys
tell
right
you.
now.
I
That were in
couldn't
the
tell
tournament. Ryder was a one-off. Ziggler
Cardona.
was a one-off.
Yeah.
Half the guys, Carmelo Hayes was in it. Miz was in it twice. No one cared.
No one cared.
What's that going to do for him?
Nothing. He's a 46-year-old man.
He'll be gone.
Right.
R-Truth will be gone.
They're kind of gone already.
Cardona is going to be gone. I'm talking 5 years from now, folks. These people will all be gone. What is the point?
Christmas.
What is the point of the tournament? Who did it make? It made nobody.
Which goes back to our bigger conversation. You have one shot to do it right, and you drop the ball.
Dom wasn't even in the tournament,
right?
And he was made by one single match. Imagine that, and then a rematch.
That match where he won the belt back from Cena was one of the Cena's. That was one of my favorites. Like with Raquel coming in and hit him with the big power bomb and the pop rocks. Him getting thrown out, big live return, Cena getting beat by all. Like you had to not bury Cena like as a character, but you had to like give him an avalanche of offense to beat him by the filthy, dirty heels, and it was great.
Loved it.
He did more putting Dom over than he did putting Gunther over, in my opinion.
Imagine if every week on Raw and SmackDown, if they would have just had Cena come out and do something with somebody every single week. Every one of those guys, even if you take that list of 16 guys in a tournament, and every single week Cena did something with one of them. Now you individualize that rub. If me and you work a tournament match in the first round of the John Cena, I get to wrestle him match, does that do anything for either one of us? No. But what if week one?
Content for the.
What if week one you put Cena over in a big match?
Yeah.
that makes you.
That
Next
makes
week,
me. Mhm.
he comes out, you know what? That was a hard fought match. And this week I just need to take a week off. And then here comes my music.
Yep. And
I know, buddy, you ain't taking a week off because
Yep.
I want a piece of you too.
Oh, no doubt.
Now you make him. And then week 3 and so on. I'm raising my voice. I'm fired up.
You can't be fired up because this was a horrible end to a beautiful story.
And people are going to sit there. I got into it with Ed, and he's telling me, Ledbetter, Eddie G.
Never heard of him.
He said, you know what he tells me?
What?
You care too much. That's what he told me. You care too much. It's not that critical. I don't
even know what to say.
And I'm not going to cut a promo on him because he's one of those guys that, because he's no longer active and doesn't like train wrestlers. What do I say when I have 15 students message me and ask, Sarge, explain that to me. Why did he tap?
You can't.
Why did he tap to a sleeper? First of all, and I have to explain that to him. That's a whole nother thing. I care too much. Yes, I do care too much.
Because we've put our entire adult life into this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Entire adult life has been into this. And, I had someone text me and be like, oh, you pussy, why are you crying?
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'm like, I'm not crying because I'm a Cena mark. I'm crying because that was bad. It was a one-off. And that's the end of this for me and you. Not that we're going to quit tomorrow.
Right.
It's the end of our whole era.
Yeah.
Everything we put into this
Yeah.
was for something like John Cena, for the idea of John Cena, the character of John Cena. Like, he's telling these magnificent, beautiful, wonderful stories. He's rallying millions of people of the world behind him. Never give up. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Stand up for what's right. Be yourself no matter what. All these wonderful, beautiful qualities that human beings have. And then
sometimes dudes just give up. I guess. I don't know.
So I wasn't upset because I'm a Cena mark. I'm upset because is that how it's going to end for you and me? Just
not if it's up to me.
Well,
I'd rather just get beat 1, 2, 3 than smile like a goof and pat my chest to a move that's not even a tap out move. I mean, that's there's a whole lot going there.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot going on right there. Not to mention 6 times during the match, Gunther broke the hold because he couldn't keep it latched again. I'm holding Gunther to a higher standard because he's one of the best in the world. I love Gunther. How come he has to break the hold and brace his hand every single time they squirm?
That was terrible.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, what would Les say to that if he saw that?
He'd lose his mind.
He'd have lost the developmental deal.
Right. But that's the thing. And so we tell these kids, if you got a hold on somebody, it's a finisher. Doesn't matter if it's a wrist lock, top wrist lock, ankle lock, leg lock. If I've got you, I'm holding that thing until you tap out or till you break out or to get to the ropes or somehow reverse it.
Yeah, and I'll demonstrate this.
Right here on camera, folks.
If I've got him hooked in a sleeper, obviously I'm not going to squeeze.
Right.
And I go like this to brace because I'm about to get up.
Boom.
Why can't he just get out of it?
Boom.
Gunther did that 6 times in that match. We counted on the live stream.
Sure,
that was bad. Yeah. That was bad.
6 times.
That was bad.
That was terrible.
I could see 1, but 6 times.
The only time I think you could really get away with it is if Cena stood up.
Yeah.
And then
maybe they gator roll.
Right.
And he's
That's what I
disoriented or whatever.
Like he used his body weight.
But if you watch it, they weren't doing anything.
No.
They were just squirming a little bit.
No.
Basement Mark would have lost his mind.
No, he wouldn't. He would look for a better work rate.
Yeah. He'd have said Kenny Omega would have never.
Kenny Omega would have never done that. When Kenny Omega was wrestling the 9-year-old girl, not one time did he let go of the hold.
Yeah. Terrible. And I can't stress this enough. I'm only mad because it's the biggest stars in the business.
Yeah.
That's why I get so fired up about it.
No. If it was 2 underneath guys at the VFW hall,
I would have went off on them and then
backstage.
that'd have been the end of it.
But that would have been it.
And then a week later, I wouldn't even have thought twice about it. This is probably going to stick with me forever.
I agree with you. I was sitting and thinking about rewatching it, but
not in a good way.
I'm not going to rewatch it. Probably ever. Probably
no.
ever.
What is there to watch?
To be mad?
I'll just be mad. I'll be mad the whole time.
Yeah,
because I know what's coming.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, we let it rip on what we thought of the finish, but let's talk just for a second before we get out of here for 2 weeks. Kev, John Cena. What did John Cena does it mean to you as a fan?
Oh man, one of the illest to ever do it, man. He brought style to the WWE, you know, with the throwback jerseys and jorts and things like that. Nobody on the map. He put jorts on the map, and he put the jorts on the map. Plus, he put those dad shoes.
Yeah,
he put most of that stuff on the map, and they use the major impact that he has on kids as well, because you know he's got the t-shirts and the kids wearing the sweatbands and things like that. So, hell of a merch mover. I mean, hell of a performer. One of the illest to ever do it.
Sarge,
he unquestionably is on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling now.
True.
You can't deny it. You're talking 20 plus years on top, 20 plus years selling merch. You can't deny it. Like the stat, if you didn't put a name next to it and you just wrote the attributes, how could you deny it? You can't. His run was bigger than Hogan's, longer than Hogan's. And his run, let's say you're Mount Rushmore, let's just say it's Hogan, Flair, Austin, and you're looking for a fourth. Let's just say that.
So you could debate the fourth. You could debate the fourth, is what you mean.
Now, to me, Cena goes into that permanent third spot, and now that fourth spot becomes debatable between Austin, Brett, Taker, Bruno Sammartino, whoever you're going to put in that fourth spot.
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
But to me, it's got to be. To me now, it's Hogan, Flair, Cena is locked into my Mount Rushmore.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, couldn't have said it better than Sarge, so I'm gonna just rail off for you before we go. This is his key accomplishment statistics: 17-time world champion, one more than Flair, 5-time United States championship, 4-time tag team championship, 1-time Intercontinental championship, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 1-time Money in the Bank winner, Grand Slam champion, Pro Wrestling Illustrated's #1 ranked wrestler of the year, 3 times.
Yeah.
Wrestling Observer new
guy
wrestler
can't wrestle
of the year,
though,
5
right?
times.
Guy
right,
can't wrestle.
No,
though.
he can't.
Right.
How many
wrestle.
WrestleMania main events? I mean, think about that.
Many of them.
How many TV main events?
Michael Cole said in that last match, it was something like his 726 televised match. That's just his televised match, folks. We're not talking about house shows.
Oh no.
And I bet 500 of those were main events.
Yeah.
Because he was always in the main event during his like 08 to 14 run. He was like always in the main event.
We love the ride, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We just
Loved it.
We just hated the end. And I agree with everybody here. Now, next 2 weeks here, we're going to be in ESPN syndication. We got Christmas, we got New Year's, but we will be back in January. And we got a lot of good topics coming up. There's going to be a lot of changes to our social media. We're going to be a lot more involved on Facebook. We're going to be a lot more involved in TikTok. If you want to see Sarge and I live, my very last match is going to be in Milan, Indiana on New Year's Eve. Sarge will be wrestling NWA superstar Carson Drake in a tables match for the Battle on the Border Heavyweight Championship. I hope to see all you guys there, and we love you and we appreciate you. And above all else, we hope you have a Merry Christmas, a happy and safe New Year, and we will see you guys in 2026.
Peace. Y'all be good. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff.
Now there's a new way to take charge